Yes, people. What's going on? How is everybody doing today? Just to let you guys know, last night there was absolute drama, carnage, unwavering sense of absolute madness going on in the Arsenal fan base. And all because of one ridiculous report from a Spanish outlet. I was live on Vibes from the Six. And if you guys see my raw reactions and you go watch that video, you'll see that I was going through an unprecedented level of different emotions. What happened was last night around 9 o'clock, there was a report that came out that the sport media have said that Mikel Arteta has decided to leave Arsenal. It caused absolute mayhem because there's a large portion of the Arsenal fan base celebrating. There's a large portion of rival fan base that were celebrating, and it just caused madness. So we got to talk about that today. Plus, obviously, it got debunked, but we're going to get into all of that. Plus, there's some major news about the transfer window. It's going to pass us by, and we're not going to sign anybody. Don't be surprised if we don't sign anybody. We're going to also talk about the Nottingham Forest Aston Villa game. I got my boy Gunnar Souls in the building. Bro, what happened to your lighting, bro? I can barely see you today.
Oh, I can go turn it on one sec.
Turn the lighting on, man. And then we're also linked to Leroy Sane joining Arsenal. Let's bring the panel through. We got my boy Belgium in the building. How you doing, AFC Belgium?
Good, man. Good, man. You got there. Thank you for having me on, man.
There you go. He's ready to fight like he was fighting Santi backstage. Santi, what's going on? Or should I call him Victor Osimhen?
Yeah, I'm good. Good.
No,
Thanks for
Osimhen can't do anything, man. Leave Osimhen, man.
Kudus is
he got his team past the round of 16. That's all you can say.
Kudus couldn't. So, yeah.
The Ghana-Nigeria beef is on the stream is going to be hilarious. And then we got Dylan in the building to add some balance, as Dylan has basically... Last night you were celebrating, bro. I seen you. You seen the Arteta tweet. The Arteta tweet, you seen it, and you probably were celebrating. You're like, get him out of here.
No. I was not celebrating. The last thing I want in the middle of Arsenal, in the middle of a title race, with a round of 16 Champions League tie weeks to come, is us to sack our manager who we've had for 4 years. That is the last thing I want. I do not want Arteta sacked. I just don't quite understand why after winning nothing, he's been given an extension. I understand the business side of it, protecting him from Barcelona, because people think Barcelona this, that. But at the same time, he hasn't actually won anything. We've given him yet another extension. It's kind of reminding me of 2017 when we had that horrendous season, albeit we did win an FA Cup, but we really needed to see the end of Wenger, and they extended him for another 2 years, and it got even worse. But listen, I think he should have had to earn that, but that's the last thing I want is him out. I just want him to win something. That's it. I don't want him out right now. That's a drag.
Let me just give it up to
Can I say something, Iga? Can I say something?
One moment, Belgium. Big up everyone in the comment section. Big up Tom. Big up to you. Big up Skulls in the building. Big up to you also. I see all you people in the building. Of course, smash the like buttons, of course, people. And also don't forget the title sponsored for today's video, SofaScore. The link is in the description to download the app for SofaScore. And of course, every time you guys do that, it helps out the channel massively. And of course, it helps you out also to keep updated on everything going around in football. I'm pretty sure all these boys probably have SofaScore or have used SofaScore at some point. It's one of the best football apps out there. And also, not only football, NBA, basketball, AFCON, whatever competition you need, you can find out information from that. So make sure you guys do check that out. But let's get into this right here, the first topic of the day. Guys, let's just call it the Arteta drama, because it's not even about his contract. It's just absolute drama. Barcelona created this drama because they want to disrupt Arteta and they want to get Arteta from Arsenal. You also have a situation where Arsenal are looking to tie him down. They don't want to lose him. Belgium, I'll start with you because you wanted to speak on it.
Thank you. Thank you.
Last night when you seen the reports, what were you thinking?
Yeah, I did. But do you know what? Let me just jump onto Dylan's comment quickly. Do you know what? Giving an extension to Arteta as kind of for contract, it doesn't mean that when it comes to the kind of issue where they need to terminate this contract, it doesn't mean anything. It's just a protocol. So I think Arsenal fan got to take it easy, and it's not because they gave him a contract, therefore, it's been extended and he will stay for life. You know, they can't come. The club can come back and say, you know what, we terminated his contract. So it's just a protocol. Yeah. So have that one.
I understand that. I understand that, but at the same time, the way I look at it as a new contract isn't just an extension; it is a pay rise. It's a pay rise for.
No, but if they come out. obviously giving an extension, they've not come out and said, "Oh, his pay has been increased." So it just a pay
If it's a
rise.
new contract, it will be a pay rise. So he would have received a pay rise, and he hasn't actually completed what he needs to do this season, which is win a trophy because he's nearly spent £1 billion, and that's in my eyes. But I think he should have been given the extension at the end of the season. I think if we're really serious about this manager and we believe in this project that we bang on about, then we shouldn't be worried about Barcelona coming in and taking him, because I'd imagine he's so invested in Arsenal that we don't have to worry about contracts and stuff. So I just think the whole idea of giving him a new contract during the middle of the season where he's won nothing and he's already knocked us out of 2 cups, I just think it's a bit desperate. It's a bit weird. I don't
What
see
about
the need.
protecting your asset? Because Mikel Arteta is an
Well,
asset.
like I just said, there's the protecting your asset side. But if this club really do believe in this project and blah 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 with Arteta, then why are they scared that he's going to go running off to Barcelona? If they really believe in this,
Because
But
he has 18 months left on his contract. He's going to start
Okay.
considering his future if you're not going to give him guarantees. I want to hear from Santi.
So if we've got a project, blah blah blah, or whatever people want to call it, then why were Arsenal expecting him to go running off?
even on top of that, you got, put it this way, you want some kind of stability though. So you just want a situation where the players will believe that.
He's got
going to
stability.
be,
I'll say that for him. Mikel Arteta's not a man without stability. He's got more money now. So
and then again, too, if he decide to go, not problem. Arsenal will beat clubs, so we can survive. If just in case, so Arsenal fan again to come on, they should stop running to that shenanigans news. It's nothing. Man. If he wants to go, Arsenal will beat club. We can get a replacement for him. It doesn't mean because he's leaving or he's left, then therefore Arsenal, that's it. We can't do anything. So we got to be careful. So yeah, so that's just
Let me hear from the other guys, because I feel like Belgium and Dylan have said their points. Just so you guys know, there's certain arguments happening in the chat right now. You got some people saying he's earned it, in my opinion. You got other people saying it's just a contract, you can get rid of him. There's other people saying I don't understand why people love Arteta. Santi, what do you think when you see all these swaying different opinions about Arteta? Are you surprised?
No, not at all, because there has always been a divided opinion about him since he joined the club. No matter what he does, the opinions will always be there. So yeah, the news broke out yesterday, and I was so surprised to see rival fans, celebrating the prospect of him leaving. I heard some people saying, "Oh, they want their Arsenal back." I know we're not winning, a lot. We're not winning trophies yet, but everybody know where we was before now. And it's evident that people miss that Arsenal, that they come back to every match day to laugh at. The banter era Arsenal. We're not winning anything yet, but I mean, we're competing and we're looking like a serious team. Right. So
can I say quickly? The only reason I've ever had a problem, and the only reason I'm not so confident, is because I can see that Arsenal. I think it's very easy to look at what Arteta's done, look at the way he's come in and he's taken us from here to here. But the problem is, I believe a manager who we've brought in with no previous managerial experience, a manager who we've brought in as a fresh manager who's never managed anyone before, yet alone a club as big as Arsenal, I think he's done a great job to take us from D to C, and I think he's taken us from C to B. But I don't know if Arteta is definitely the guy to take us from B to A, because that jump from B to A is massive. Because I feel like most managers with enough money can take you from D to B, but making us that team that wins the league, the team with the spine and the backbone to win a league, a Jurgen Klopp team better than a Pep team, it's a whole different ballgame. I just question if Arteta's really got that, to be honest. But
let Santi finish his point, because I think he was going to get there. Santi, what are you saying?
So yeah, as I was saying, a lot of people, didn't believe was going to. They don't believe is that guy that is going to take us to the finishing line, like Dylan just said. But I mean, we can't determine that yet, not now, because for me, I still think this team is not complete yet, and squad building is not something like you can do overnight. You tend to do it over time, especially with FFP and all these restrictions in place when it comes to spending money. So I mean, we're this close. So getting that goal scoring striker that has been clamoring for, and see what he does going forward. And if he does nothing even after that, so yeah, we can have that conversation of should we extend his contract, should he stay, should he go, or things like that. But extending his contract right now, we obviously send a mixed message to the fans, because are they trying to tell us they are satisfied with what he's doing right now, despite the fact that we've not been winning trophies? We had the opportunity to win the league last season. We threw it away. We're out of both cup competitions this season, and it's not really looking good for us in the league at the minute. So I think it's the wrong time, to get that contract renewal out right now.
Well,
I
can I
have
just
a response to that. I have a response to that. So most people have an issue with the time that the contract's being given, not the fact that he's getting a contract. Am I right? Gunnar Souls, you agree with that? More people have an issue with the timing.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, so what's your case on this whole situation? Give me your 2 cents on it.
I mean, there's a lot of things that you've got to look into. One thing is, if, let's say, for example, Barcelona are in for Arteta, let's just say that was a valid, destination for him to move to at the end of the season. What Arsenal need to look at is how much compensation can they get out of Barcelona in terms of allowing that contract to be terminated, or mutually even, terminated. So the longer that contract is, the bigger that we're paying Mikel, the bigger the compensation we're going to get for letting Mikel go to Barcelona. So that's protecting your asset. That's the element of what a lot of people talk about, protecting your assets from going for free. Now, there's a second way to look at it as well. This project has been heavily involved with Arteta. He's the center point of everything that we've done to build. That doesn't mean that, Arteta can be like, you can't remove Arteta from the equation and someone else can't come in and make it a success. But there's still one component to go. There's clearly been look, we don't have to agree with this, but the club has had a 5 or 6 year plan. Now, I get what people are saying. We're a big club. We shouldn't be doing these plans and phases and projects and whatever. But the reality is, the mess that we were in required a complete restructure from top to bottom, from the ground to the pitch, to the players, to the culture, to the way that we do business. And that was always going to take a long time. They must have seen teams around who have done this carousel method of, sacking and hiring, and not seeing long-term success. They must have seen that, okay, we need to build the foundations again. And that's what Arteta's here to do. Now, if he delivers success with that, then amazing. But I still think there's one phase, and I've always said this, I'm willing to give him one more season, but I need to the window for me is when I'll turn on him. Because if he does not address the attacking area of this team in this coming window, in the summer window, I'm done. Because how many more windows are you going to neglect it? And how many more windows are you going to neglect the problems of this team, which is a pure goal-scoring striker, a pure plan B, someone who can come in and turn this game around. So if he neglects that, then of course all the concerns people have are valid to have before the season starts. So the summer window and whatever we do leading to that is absolutely crucial to the amount of pressure Arteta will feel. And I think there's going to be a mountain of pressure on him next season. Because for me, it's no context you win. I don't give a shit if it's 1 point you lost the league by.
Should be the case this season.
Who you lose the Champions League to. I don't care who you lose that Carabao Cup to. And I don't care who you lose that FA Cup to. It's one more season and I'm done with this whole thing.
1 second. Is it that we're looking at things slightly different because we're fans, and we're not looking at it from the perspective of the guideline, what they put, the parameters they put for him? Because last year, arguably, we weren't even supposed to be in a title race. It should have been the year that we get back into the Champions League. If we would have finished third, the whole and Liverpool.
No. The year before when we bottled it, that was the year we were from Champions League.
Let me land. So the year before, when we didn't get top 4, they even said themselves they were just their target was to just get back into Europe, and he overachieved to a certain degree to even get the team competing for top 4. Then last year we were just supposed to get back into top 4, and he overachieved again, getting us into a title race. Now this season we're expected to be in a title race again, which we are. We haven't dropped off of it yet, as everyone's talking about us being 5 points off as if it's over. And then you look at the parameters and expectations that the club would have set. I feel like the reality is the progress that the team has made year by year, I look at it as upward trajectory. And I think the team, the owners, the club are looking at this as this is just the beginning. And to get rid of Arteta at this moment in time would be basically cutting off the head of the ship, or the phrase, whatever the phrase is, cutting off.
Last season was supposed to be the season before where we messed it up was supposed to be the year we got top 4, because getting top 4 isn't something crazy impossible to achieve if you spent hundreds of millions.
No, I know. I'm saying based on expectations going into the
last season, we should have been fighting for a league, because even in pre-season, watching the team, you could see that we were up to it. Yeah,
bro. Let's be honest. Last season, that was a shock. No, it
wasn't. It was not a shock. Watching in pre-season, watching the way we played against
Dylan, hand on heart, you did not say we were going to compete for the title.
On my life, I'll get WhatsApp messages.
Bro,
before the season started,
you only had to look at the football we were playing in pre-season. Think about what we added to the team, and you could see we were gonna compete. I didn't think we'd win the league, but I could see that we were gonna be definitely gonna get 4. We're definitely gonna get 4.
Last year was Champions League qualification was the main goal. That was the reality of the situation.
Yeah, but that's because the standards are on the floor.
One second. It actually changed, and Arteta is part of the people who actually changed the standards, because he got this team going from expecting to get back into the Champions League to competing for the league title. You now have people saying if he doesn't win the league or the Champions League, he should be sacked, which I think is basically he's being punished by his own success. And I don't know. I'll throw it back to you. What do you think about that?
Who, me?
Yeah.
I just think we're just too easy on him. Like, he's of his own success. Like, at the end of the day, he finished 5 points off a league title, which was a disgrace when you look at the way we let it go. It was a disgrace. When 5 points off it, and he's and to be honest, he messed up. He messed up in the summer, and now he's messed up in January again. And it's like, there's more to it than where he's getting the team in league position. In the window, the amount of money he's wasted and spent in the wrong areas, that could have been spent on much better players. It could put us way further ahead right now. The speed we're moving at, where it might seem all right because we were so bad for 6-7 years, we're moving so slowly. Like, you look how quickly Postecoglou's got Spurs looking decent again when they've got.
I hear this every week.
Okay, forget Postecoglou. Forget Postecoglou.
No.
Look at Liverpool.
I heard Ten Hag last year.
No, Egal. When Liverpool,
the year before that, I heard
the team Liverpool had that he took over was nowhere near as good as the team Arteta took over. That team.
No, but guess what? The floor for that Liverpool team was a lot higher because they've challenged for a league 2 years prior.
That's not okay. We challenged for a league with Leicester about 3 years before Arteta came in. Literally 3 years before.
Not comparable. We didn't actually chase them to the end. We dropped out.
We only finished about 5 points. We were not that far. We were not that far of Leicester. We came second that season, and we were protesting. We came second in the Premier League, and we were protesting to have the manager out. Yeah.
All right, even if you want to bring the Klopp point up, Klopp still didn't do much in his first few seasons anyway.
In his first few seasons, if you look at how quickly Liverpool went from this to this, is a joke, and they've actually won in the.
And Arteta has had a similar trajectory.
Arteta won in his first season.
Yeah, with a load of players that he inherited.
Can I jump in?
Did he win or not?
Yeah, Santi, jump in.
I mean, when people talk about these things, they only focus about the on-pitch results and performances. They don't focus about the culture. About the culture surrounding the club generally. What Arteta met at this club was nonchalant attitudes, players that didn't care about the club, and the mentality in the dressing room was non-existent.
Right.
These guys.
So on that basis, how did that team win an FA Cup, but then he gets rid of all of those players and wins nothing since? How can that be?
Santi, go ahead.
I mean, I won't land my point, but yeah. So all I'm saying is the mentality and the culture around the club when he came in was rubbish, and he said it when he came in, like, this is one of the things we have to deal with. And the moment he started doing that, we saw some players couldn't cope with it, and they started having problems. And those players, they had to go. We won the FA Cup with the likes of Maitland-Niles and these guys. Are you telling me you still want to keep those guys in this squad today because they won us an FA Cup in 2020?
No, I'm just saying, how can it be possible that this terrible team he inherited could win something?
The fact that they won FA Cup in 2020 doesn't mean they're a better team than the team we have right now.
Santi, I'm sorry for your...
Bergen, one second. You see, these cup runs fools a lot of people. And that's why you see United fans last season telling us, "Oh, we've had a better season than Arsenal because they won the Carabao Cup." It's not sustainable. You have to do it in the league week in, week out, consistently before you can show you a better team. The same team that won the FA Cup in 2020 finished 8 back-to-back. So what are we here saying?
Let me answer Dylan's question. Dylan, the team that Mikel Arteta inherited that he won the FA Cup with lacked two things: work ethic and discipline. That's what they lacked. The work ethic to defend and to be a resolute team, and the discipline.
Miguel, mate, we got a clean sheet against the best team in the country in an FA Cup.
1 second, bro. Let me land. My point is that team. You look back at it. You look through the whole squad. You look through that team. We can actually go and pull it up. Majority of those players left due to their lack of discipline in their position or their lack of work ethic or quality. That's the reality.
I agree that 90% of that squad wasn't good enough. I completely agree with that. My point is, I agree with you, but my only point is, how is it possible that terrible squad full of this wrong, that wrong, this was wrong with it, that was wrong with it? How can that win an FA Cup, beating Man City and Chelsea, who were good at the time?
But you got to
with £1 billion spent later, we can't win anything.
The average age of that squad must have been like 28, 29.
Can I come in?
We had to rebuild the whole squad.
Can I come in?
Yeah,
first of all, I just want to pick up a few points. Santi, the league is not finished yet. You can't be saying that, there's no chance for Arsenal to win the league. We see part of the conversation.
But I never said so. I never said that.
He actually said the opposite.
1 second. And the thing is that, Iga, when he said we did overachieve last season, when we finished fourth, or was it when we finished? Last season when we finished second, we did not overachieve. Arsenal, we beat club. So every season, I keep on telling people that got to be part of our conversation. We got to be challenging for the league. If we're not, we must well not be there at all. What's the point? Is we are Arsenal, and
I'm saying last season no one was. It was a little bit of a surprise.
But the players, the coach knew what was required of them. Do you understand it? But it's just like we fell short.
Can I say something?
No, I love it. Just wait, Santi, I was listening to you. Let me finish.
Yeah, go on.
Now, coming back to the whole shenanigans about, is Arteta staying? Is he leaving? What has he done? And again, we're going back again to Santi for this issue where the previous players, and Dylan made a good point. Those are the previous players that people will say, they're not good enough. Or either, they don't have a good work ethics. Those are the players we literally help Arsenal to win the FA Cup, the cup. And if those who are literally bad players, they were the people causing issues, then obviously the last 3 years, we should have won till now. We should have been able to win something. I'm not saying that we're not going to win it. We'll win it. But sometimes when we kind of start using players as a scapegoating, I don't like it. Trust me. These players, when they come to a club, when they sign for the club, they want to do it. No football player comes in and says, you know what, I'm taking a P, that's it. I can't be bothered. No, I don't think so. So sometimes when we kind of are trying to make a statement, we should always remember a context. You can't be saying to me now, players like Obama and them, they want to do it. But the thing is that the coach comes with his philosophy, and sometimes if he's kind of trying to figure a system, the configuration of system might not appreciate the style of playing of certain players. And we saw it because he just said, you know what? I don't feel that you'll be able to fit into my system. He comes with his own philosophy. And his philosophy is, you know what? I want to control the ball. I want to control the game. I want more passing. I want the team to create. So we cannot all of a sudden say, okay, because those players, they're not able to fit into that. Therefore, they're bad players because they might go to other team and do well. And I made a last point. My last point is about the fact that when Dylan was saying, if he wants to go to Barca and whatever, yeah, it's true. But at the end of the day, Arsenal fans, let's believe that even though if Arteta ended up leaving, I say no, though. I'm not saying that he's leaving, just in case. But we can't panic. We should not be able to, the club, they should be able to get a replacement for him. And I believe that we got coaches out there who want to come to Arsenal. So let's kind of always
I
keep
personally don't want a carousel of managers coming through Arsenal Football Club. I think the premise of sacking, hiring, we don't have the structure for that. Like it or not, Arteta and Edu are the structure at Arsenal Football Club at this moment in time. There's nobody senior of them that's actually making footballing decisions.
Can I jump in?
Do you guys disagree with that? Because I
think before Santi starts, I think the easiest way to put it is I don't think it's the right time to sack him. I also don't think it's the right time to give him an extension. I think it's win this season. But it's not that. Okay, well, that's not going to be the case because I know how this club standards are on the floor. So I think next season it's win or bye-bye. I don't care the context. As Sol said, I don't care the context next season because I as much as I'd be happy to get rid if he wins nothing this season, I think if next season he wins nothing, it'll be the easiest goodbye for me. I'm sorry.
I think I can agree with that. What are you saying, Santi?
I mean, yeah, that's fair enough. I've been saying to people, that goal scoring striker, it won't get him this January. It's not possible, and we have to wait till summer after all. And if you're getting him what he wants, to complete his squad 100% in the summer, then you've got to give him one more season, to prove what he has to do. And if he can't do anything, then he has to go. Doesn't mean I personally don't like him. I'll keep rooting, for him anywhere he goes. But for Arsenal Football Club, I just think it's the right time to part ways.
Big up Gunnar Lee in the building saying Arteta is the king, jump on the wave, 100%. And you got people here saying Iga has low standards. But then when I tell you, I think this team can get 100 points, you guys tell me you're deluded. So is it low standards or is it me?
But Igal, you're not saying the team has to get 100 points. You're saying it can. That's not standards. If you said this team has to get 95, 100 points, that's standards. Saying it can get 100 points isn't standards.
This standard talks. Belgium said something earlier. Igor, 1 second. So Belgium said something earlier about we're a big club. We don't have to say things about overachieving every season. And I want to say, not only Belgium, a lot of people say that. No matter how big a team is, every season they have objectives they want to achieve that particular season. And last season, if we're being honest with ourselves, if we are being real, winning the league or competing for the league was not one of those objectives. And the squad building last season backs that up.
Of course it was. What do you mean?
Let me land my points. The players we signed last season, the players we kept in our squad, the likes of Odin and these guys.
Odin was signed last season. What are you talking about?
He's talking about the squad.
Let me land my points. Challenging for the title wasn't one of the objectives last season. And Zinchenko came in and said the same thing, that it wasn't part of the conversations when he came in the dressing room. He was one of those guys that said, look, why is nobody talking about challenging for the title? That the whole conversation was centered around top 4 last season. And if you look at the squad compared to Belgium, you can say I'm lying, but you can't say Zinchenko is lying because he came out and said
Where did you get that information from? I'm challenging.
One second. I actually have the interview. I can find it. Zinchenko did say in an interview that he came to the team and they didn't believe that they could challenge for the league. And he said, he told them, I believe we can challenge for the league.
That's different. That's
exactly what he just said.
Yeah, but listen, no clubs to start in the beginning of the season, no clubs will come out and say, oh, don't challenge for the league. No chance. We were part of the conversation.
No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying. Let me land. I'm saying every single team, be it Real Madrid, Manchester City, that's even won everything, have their objective for every season that this is what we want to do. If they do more than that, we can say, oh, they've overachieved. And if they go way below that, we can say they've underachieved.
No, something, but that's where you're going wrong. And sometimes, like, I don't know, maybe we're in that kind of maybe my age group thinking, or what will I say? Because the thing is that for every club, right, when they do their transfer activities, right, before the season starts, they know that, okay, these are the objectives. We're going to either be part of the conversation when it comes to the league or top 4. Because of late, because back in the day, it used to be the top 2 they're top 3, then all of them are top 4. So we got to be part of that conversation, right? And that's what every club's. Now, when you start coming and start going up to the point that you got the chance to win the league, no club says, "Oh, do you know what? Oh, do you know what? We were lucky to be there." No, it's based on hard work. It's based on mental strengthness. It's based on that belief that the players and the coaching staff have around those players that made them to believe that they can go all the way to winning, right? So Arsenal fans, let's stop dropping this and say, "Oh, we overachieved," or the young says. I don't want to hear that. If they're young, then they shouldn't be playing.
But if you didn't build your squad, you know,
but
to
that's what
achieve
Arteta is doing. That's what Arteta is doing.
And that's what I'm saying.
And the thing is that,
you guys agree.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
Last
but we
season,
agree.
wait, let me say
But
this.
it's got to
Let me
win
say
something.
I think the Nigeria Ghana thing has created a rivalry.
No, let me say this.
No, but Nigeria people, when it comes to football,
Belgium, last season, Partey got injured. We had Lokonga. Saliba got injured. Odin had to come in. It's not the case this season.
Lokanga wasn't meant to be a replacement. You see, let's try and put context into every conversation. Lokanga wasn't meant to be a replacement of Partey. Right?
What was Lokonga meant to be? Can we actually talk about what on earth was Lokonga meant to be at Arsenal Football Club?
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie to you. Lokonga was a failure of a transfer.
No. But the thing is that how much did we pay for Lokonga?
Lokonga was supposed to be
18 or 20 million.
Okay, good. And again, to how long someone who just came in from another league, he hasn't been settled.
No, he's
how
failed.
on earth? And he's a youngster. It was
failed.
No, the thing is that no, it's not rubbish.
Lokonga's finished at Arsenal.
It's not rubbish. He's doing well at Luton. He's doing well at Luton.
Has he played?
Yeah, he's been playing.
Bro, he had like 2 good games.
But the thing is that,
come
listen,
on.
The thing is that it needed. You see, when it comes to football players, you guys playing out there is not that easy though, right? And this guy, I keep on saying it. These guys, they want to do well, right? And that's where, for me, I blame Arteta for his introduction. And that's which sometimes
can I ask you a question?
Players.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah, go on.
Does Lokonga get on Man City's bench? Forget a lot starting lineup. Does he get on Man City's bench?
Yeah, he never comes on.
Listen, how much did we pay for him? 25? So that's to tell you.
I'm talking about the quality of the player. Does he get on Man City's bench? No. Does he get on Liverpool's bench? No. Does he get on Real Madrid's bench? Absolutely not. Does he get on Bayern Munich's bench? Absolutely not.
No. He's not. No, but listen, he's not.
Oh, you're glorifying Bayern Munich's bench.
Listen, no. But listen, we're talking about our first 11. Is it part of our first 11? No. You see, that's where the coach.
You shouldn't be anywhere near. Belgium. Rob Holding wasn't part of our first 11, but you've got to be ready if a player gets injured. My issue is I think we need a top midfielder more than we need a striker, because when Thomas Partey is unavailable, we're finished. I think you need to have players on the bench that are ready to play in the starting 11. There shouldn't be this drop-off, because having Lokonga on the bench shouldn't be acceptable. There can't be.
But that's the difference. That's the difference between last season and this season.
Guys, let me stop
everything for a second. Can you hear me out?
I can hear you, Belgium. Just 1 second. Let me just stop you there. Everyone in the chat, do me a favor right now. Hit that like button. We're bringing you some premium content. We're having some good conversation. If you have anything you want to say, also add in. We got Taylor here in the comments saying Lokonga doesn't get into Man City's 25-man squad, let alone the bench. And then this thing is not about Lokonga. So I'm just going to bring it back. I'm going to introduce Souls for a second because he hasn't said a word. Gunnar Souls, I want to ask you. The Arteta is always going to divide opinion. Arteta is always going to bring debate. But do you believe this team is currently on an upward trajectory still? Or do you feel like it is to the point where you need to start looking at major changes? Because that to me, it just seems like the fan base is always looking for major changes, when I don't think we need major changes. I think we just need a little bit addition, a little bit of subtraction, not too many major changes.
Igal, I know why you asked me this. You want me to say what I always say. This team, is a straight A student turned drug dealer. That's what this team reminds me of. All the potential in the world, but they're just throwing it away because they're not winning anything. They're not shutting up the critics. They're not really delivering on anything at the moment. That's what I mean. All the potential, but right now they're not showing it. So that's how I feel. It's not about Arteta. It's not about the plays. I think every single component is good enough to actually deliver something, whether it's an FA Cup, whether it's a Carabao Cup. Okay, Champions League, I will never ever say 8 teams an outright favourite to win that. The league, yes, you can have favourites in the league, but when it comes to you know, the FA Cup, they failed to deliver that, get past the first round. At a team that we should be beating, you know, Carabao Cup, same story, FA Cup, same story. So I don't know who to blame. That's the problem, because it's always going to be a divide. Some people are going to go, it's the players letting Arteta down, and then some people are going to say Arteta's letting the players down. And the reality is they need to deliver to shut the critics up. And that's the missing component. They're good enough to do it. Because look at that United team. That United team had no right to win the Carabao Cup. I know people are going to sit here and go, Mickey Mouse trophy. I don't really call any of the trophies Mickey Mouse. I think you go for everything. You don't underrate or disrespect any cup that you can compete in. And they went for it. And sometimes you've got to look at what Pep's been doing. We always want to compare ourselves to the likes of Man City, right? Man City, when Pep first came in, what was his first priority? Win that League Cup, win that Carabao Cup, and that sets your season up nicely. You'd win that, get the momentum, and guess what happened after that? That league was theirs. Every single time you won that Carabao Cup, no one touched that league title, because that gave them the feeling of winning, and they did not want to be losers. They felt the disappointment of the Champions League, and every single season they took that hurt and they made it better. Every single season, from quarterfinal knockout to semi-final to the final, they felt the hurt of the final, went the next season and won it. So they've been through the pain barriers. We've been through it, but now we need to turn that pain and actually start succeeding with it. And that's the problem. Like we've got at Arsenal, it's not about low standards. It's not about fans critiquing. It's just this team hasn't shut anyone up yet. It's not favoured either party. It's not favoured the people who want Arteta gone. It hasn't favoured us.
I think kind of that's what Santi was saying, and I think he would agree with you there. Big up Ray the Gunner. He says, big up Belgium doesn't tolerate any slander on our players. LOL. That's true. He's always here to back the players. I rate that. But one second, I think Santi, you were trying to get some other point across about Arteta and how people are harsh on him based on something. What was that?
I mean, before now, I had the opinion that people were harsh on him, but after this season, if he fails to deliver any trophy, I can't really go at people for, criticizing him and wanting him out of the team. I mean, it's been close to 5 years now. And if people say, me personally, I'm willing to give him one more season. And after that, yeah, I can start calling him for him to be sacked. But anybody that wants him out after this season, I mean, I say that's fair enough.
Okay. What about after last night? Did you guys notice a little bit of a mixed reaction from some of the fans? Because I felt like rivals really rate Arteta on the low, and their reaction yesterday was like they were semi-celebrating that we were about to lose him potentially. Did you notice that? I seen Santi tweeted about that. You definitely noticed.
Shall I be honest, Gal? Yeah. Shall I be honest, Gal? Shall I see the way I look at it? Yeah. I don't think Arteta's going to win a Premier or Champions League. I don't think he will. I think he can. I think we're capable as a team. I just don't think we will win a Premier League or Champions League this season. I just think the whole idea of the Twitter meltdown was just quite entertaining, because I just know the depth some people online go to defending these people who don't know they exist. Honestly, from just a normal life perspective, the depth some of these people go to defend someone who don't know they exist, it is quite entertaining to see the meltdown. But in terms of how I actually want to see Arsenal on the pitch, I didn't want to see him sacked. No, I just found the whole thing quite funny.
No, but Dylan, you cannot categorically say it. You don't see Arteta winning something for Arsenal this season. Of course, we could do it. There's a plausibility. We definitely believe in that. Yeah, we can win the league.
Definitely can do it.
We see part of.
I just said we can, but I don't think we will.
I want to move on the conversation, guys. We spent a lot of time on this topic. I want to move on.
Let me just say something quickly. First of all, it seems to me that Arsenal fans, we're reading a script that somebody's already designed and wants Arsenal fans to execute that. Oh, we need a striker. We need this. Oh, Arteta need to get the striker. Liverpool won the league, without striker, Man City won it twice without any proper recognized striker, right? And Arteta last season, these boys were scoring goals. I think I've said this last week on the podcast. There was kind of, So this season, when people said, oh, assuming that we got a striker, we need a striker, we need this. No, we're conceding goals. We got to sort that one out. Our transition has been a little bit slow. We got to sort that one out. And Dylan was talking about, we need a proper CDM. And those are the things. We need a proper right back, but obviously we've got natural right back, but he's out injured, Timber, right? We need a left back solution to fix it out. But people are not looking at that. They're looking at, oh, we need a striker because everyone coming out, we need a striker. Has the coach come out? Does he come out to say, oh, you need a striker? For me, though, if he hasn't come out yet, and the thing is that, listen, I'm not saying that we don't need the firepower to add to what we've got, but it's just like everyone's trying to say, oh, we need a striker. As soon as we get a striker, everything will be fine. No, man.
We need a midfielder more than we need a striker. We do.
Let's talk about transfers. We're not signing anybody. It's been reported today. Arteta said in an interview to TNT Sport. Yeah, he said Arteta revealed that Arsenal will not sign anybody in January. It wasn't possible. We did not have the capacity to improve the team in the way that we think we want to improve. We decided not to do something yet. That's what he had to say. Wow, what makes it?
We don't have the capacity.
Yeah, he said we did not have the capacity to improve the team the way we wanted. I don't think it's a thing where they don't want to spend money. I think it's a thing that they don't see the value for what they want in this window.
Cheapskate FC, man. If you're in a position we're in right now, yeah, we're only 5 points off a league title. Man City are looking slightly off it, although I think they're going to come into the second half of the season. Liverpool are a decent side. If we want to go and win the league, you have to spend big money to do so. The club don't want to do that. The club would rather give Reece Nelson a new contract than sign a Leroy Sane, for example. They'd rather give Eddie Nketiah a new contract than go and sign a proper striker, for example. They'd rather give Rob Holding and El Neni contract extensions to protect value.
We got rid of Rob Holding.
Yeah, but Dila,
no, but they did.
Dila.
By the way, we've downgraded. We got rid of Holding and brought in Kiwior. Like,
Dila, I don't care that your view. How many strikers? I've said it. Wait. I've said it many times. Let me say, I've said it many times. When it comes to a football club, you can't have everyone like Mbappe. Yeah, you got to have Mbappe. You got to have. Man. Yeah, you can't have. No. What I'm saying is that you can't have everyone A class, A. You got to be A, B, C, D, right? And again, as a striker, when you're looking at the striking aspect of position, how many strikers do you think that we can sign? You can't have get rid of this player and spend money and back this player. That's not how football clubs operate. So Arsenal fans, we got to understand that. You can't have everyone. I don't know how you want Arsenal to be. You can't be, everyone say City. Are you telling me that players in City, some of them coming out as a sub, do you think that they'll come to Arsenal and start among the first 11? No. So you got to have you got to have those average ones, good ones, plus the average ones, and that's how team operates. And with Arsenal, we got decent players, we got good ones, we got decent ones, and it's got to be the manager how to learn how to navigate to or how to manage them, right? And when it comes to the transfer, and I said it, January transfer is always a tricky one. You cannot get a transformational player like everyone will say, let's get Ivan Toney, let's get Osimhen. They got to come in and settle, and we've seen so many examples like Enzo Fernandez.
Even Odegaard, when we signed Odegaard.
Enzo Fernandez, we spent, how much did we spend? How much Chelsea, the Cowboy team, how much did they spend on him? 100 and something million. What's the situation right now? Is he settled? No, right? So you don't want that. That's why most clubs, they've kind of, avoid to do that. And it's summertime that you kind of do your own main businesses. So, I mean, if they're not able to sign it, you can't blame Arsenal because they've got players there. We've got players coming back. So hopefully we'll be ready to go again. Bro, you got to believe in that, man. You got to believe in the players.
Let me hear from Santi, because Santi's kind of like he's sick and tired of this conversation with the money.
No. I've been telling people before now that they should lower their expectations ahead of the transfer window, because the kind of players we need right now, we can't get them in January, like Belgium said. If you want to get a 30 million striker player mid-season, they're going to call him 60 million for you, just to, discourage you. And if you're going to, be adamant on it, then you have to extremely overpay. And that's what happened with Modric last window, and we're still struggling in the league till now. So if we're going out there, we want an Osimhen, an Ivan Toney. The closest we can get right now is Dominic Solanke, who is in form, and we will have to massively overpay for him. And on the long run, it won't even be our first choice striker. So I think we just have to, make do with what we have right now to the end of the season and spend properly and do it right when comes the end of the season. And Belgium said something earlier that I disagree with. Was saying something about Liverpool winning the league without a striker. I had the same opinion, last year, that we can do it. It's been done before. And, it's not something that's not possible. But if we apply context to it and what's happening in this squad right now, I think we need one. Because that Liverpool team, Salah was delivering back to back consistently every season. Sadio Mane was doing the same thing consistently every season. Saka, Martinelli did it last season. We didn't have goal scoring problem. In fact, we had a record-breaking goal scoring season in the league last season.
So why do people think we need a striker?
Yeah, beginning of this season, I said something about if we are going to do what we did last season, then we have to rely on Saka, Martinelli for both goal scoring and creativity, because Odegaard doesn't even create loads of chances like that. And these two guys have struggled for consistency this season, and it's quite obvious in front of goal. We've created loads and loads and loads of chances, and we can't just seem to score. So if we get that goal scoring striker in that can convert half chances, into goals, can convert big chances into goals, then I don't think nobody should say no to that.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking.
No,
I
but
think
something, you see, well,
one
Igor,
second,
can I just,
Belgium.
oh, sorry.
One second, Belgium. I want to bring Gunnar Souls into this also. I just think the main reason why we're not going to the January window to spend money is because you don't want a short-term fix, as Santi said. A short-term fix will cost you in the long run, and it will actually hinder you more. Look at the signings that Dylan brought up. All the signings Dylan brought up, Lokongas, the Elnenis, these signings that we made, that were short-term signings, or we thought that were going to be investments for the future. Sometimes they don't work out the way you want them to. And if you look at some of the January signings we made in the past, like Cedric, Pablo Mari, even now, people are making fun of KVR. People are even making fun of KVR right now, saying he's not good enough. So it just goes to show you how you might not be able to get the best value for what you want and the quality you need to push your squad forward in January. And right now, if the club is saying that they don't have that, they don't find that player, who am I to say, oh, you must sign somebody, you must rise up 105 million, go get me Ivan Toney? It's just not feasible sometimes.
But right, at the same time, I'll tell you a small problem I've got with Arsenal, yeah. I feel like Arsenal are very reactive to the fan base. I feel like
I think it's the opposite.
Right.
I think it's the opposite.
No.
If the fan base don't like something, it actually tends out working out better.
No, the people at the club have got every week, all season. They don't have to wait until January to then sit up in their desk and go, right, time to look for a striker. They could have been looking for a striker in November. Why is it now?
They are. They're not telling everybody their business.
How have they not found someone that can come in if we're so desperate for a striker?
Bro, I just gave you the answer. It's not a situation where it's like, oh, we're waiting until the January 1st to start looking for signings. It's they have their targets and they're looking at if it's feasible to pull it off in January. If it's not, they're gonna have to wait until the summer. And majority of our signings, like the fact that we pretty much trying to wrap up the Zubimendi deal in the summer already, like the fact that we're already looking to get Ivan Toney or another striker in the summer already, they're planning ahead. You're making it seem like you're only planning ahead if you're planning for this window. They're planning ahead for the next window.
Igor, can I say something? Earlier on, I think last week, I said most established club like Arsenal, I mean, those kind of transformational players, they normally do their businesses in summertime. You don't see Arsenal or big clubs. It did happen once, but I think the last one, I said it was a Liverpool, Van Dijk, that transformational player. Now, you can still get players to complement your squad. Like we saw in, what's it in, Trossard, fantastic player. How much would we buy? How much would we pay for him? 25 mil? Or is it 30? I can't remember. But listen, it's tactically flexible. It can fit into any tactical switches. And he's been doing okay, right? Not excellent. Now, when it comes to the situation where you're buying players like we saw it, Lokonga, all those players we pay 25 KVO, and those are the risks when it comes to the business. Those are the risks that most clubs normally take. Sometimes you buy them. We've seen it with even Pep. Now, everyone is hailing him. We are hailing him as a top coach. Listen, Kevin Phillips. He paid good money for him. So what happened in the end? That's what happened. Because as a coach, you come with your own philosophy, right? And you're thinking that, okay, do you know what? I'm trying to configure a system. And can this player, with my system, appreciate the style of this guy, this particular player? And again, we talked about last time, I was talking about talent ID, and again to the profile. So many aspects, come to all this. So that's what we said when we're talking about the transfers, when we're talking about, because it seems that everyone just really, we need a striker. We don't need no striker. These guys can do the business. It's just like the final third, they got to learn to be ruthless. It's not like let's get a striker. Final third to be ruthless. Against the game against Palace, do we have any striker there? Do we have any Osimhen there? They scored 5 goals. Do we have Ivan Toney? 5 goals they scored. It's just like being the final third to be ruthless. And that's what they got. Decision making, extra touch, or overhitting the ball, or putting too much space on the ball. Those are the things that they got to cut out. And the coach, they're working on with them, because I said football is about science now. So it's about data and analysis. So they've done that. Compile all the data.
I just want to stop you there. We have to also look at the FFP side of things, and it's going to piss people off that I even say the word FFP. But the reality is, we spent in the January, we spent in the summer, we spent in January, we spent in the summer. That's 4 successive windows where we went bang, 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 bang. So
you know what it is? I fully understand that. I fully understand.
Eventually, one second, bro. Let me just land.
Money on.
Eventually, it's going to catch up to you. But right now, I'm not even trying to make excuses. The reality is, why are we going to do what we've done in the past and go and try to sign somebody in the January, and that's going to potentially cost us more, take away from our signings in the summer and put us backwards? I don't think that's a good choice right now. But hey, everyone's going to and last year we pushed for it. We pushed for that league. We tried our best. We couldn't get it. It is what it is. It's over. We're not going to cry about it. We move on, and we try to pick ourselves up for the next year or two. Try to get ourselves back there and win again. But there is a link to a Leroy Sane, and I just want to know: would you guys be interested in Leroy Sane? Because I hear some people say yes. I hear some people say hell no. Keep him away from the club. I want to know where you stand, Gunnar Souls. Talk to me.
I mean, I don't watch the Bundesliga, so I don't really have an opinion on how he's done recently.
Souls. We saw him at Man City. We saw the player.
But he's been away from Man City for years.
That's been quite a bit of time. I want to know what he's done in the Bundesliga. I need to know what he's done now rather than what he has done. Because it's the same situation as Kai Havertz. People went back to Bayer Leverkusen and said, look at the play he was there. That's what he can become. And it's we can't really look at what he did a few seasons ago and say that's the player we're going to go and buy. I mean, I don't know. I've not seen him recently, but if you're talking about the Leroy Sane from Man City, then 100% bring him in, because that's a top elite talent that is going to tear up the Premier League. But I don't know what he's done at Bayern Munich. I don't know if someone on the panel watches Bundesliga, because I don't really like commenting on plays I haven't personally seen in at least a season or two.
I personally, I don't think we're going to end up signing Leroy Sane. He's on ridiculous wages at Bayern Munich. And for us to match those wages, he would probably be one of our higher paid players. And he wouldn't even be guaranteed starter for me, at least. He wouldn't be a guaranteed starter.
Leroy Sane in this team.
He will start ahead of Saka, man.
I would have Saka. I would have Saka or Martinelli ahead of him.
No, you
think Saka and Martinelli are better than Leroy Sane?
No.
I don't think
Saka is not better than him, man. Saka he's won it. Listen, he's won the league how many times?
Saka and Martinelli.
He won the Champions League. He won the league and he won the Champions League. So he's got much. No. Please, let's stop this.
Bro, I'm not gonna lie to you. Leroy Sane is like a 10-goal, 10-assist player. He's not really this guy who's getting you 20 goals and
but he's not his proper striker.
You guys are talking about him. You guys are talking about him as something more than what he actually is.
Oh no, but he offers more than what Saka will be able to offer the most. Saka is just on the ascent.
Saka and Martinelli just have more.
Wait. We jumping the gun. Saka has got the potential to be like Leroy, even more than Leroy, right? Leroy is already established himself, right? So you can't go for that kind of player and then bring him on and say he'll be on the bench and be looking at Saka playing. He's got to start. He's got to start ahead of Saka.
By the way, why
I'm
is
not
it
gonna lie to
Saka?
you guys.
Wait.
If you guys
Why
think
is it
But
wait,
what
why
I
is
don't
it
like-
Saka? Why is it Saka versus Sane? They don't even play on the same side. What's this?
I'm
they're
telling
wingers,
you,
though,
both
they're wingers. You
Martinelli
can compare
and
wingers
Saka
that have
start over
different
Leroy
sides, you can.
Sané.
No, you got no.
If Leroy Sané signed for Arsenal tomorrow, I believe Saka and
He
No,
plays
no.
on the left.
Leroy will be
I don't
starting
get
ahead
the-
of Saka, man. And the thing is that what I don't like in him, sometimes it can be strong header because it can be a little bit of headache. So I don't know whether Arteta will be able to cope with him. That's the only problem I just got with Leroy.
Wait.
Yeah.
So you guys
Fantastic
all
player.
rate Sané more than Martinelli?
Oh, listen.
Yes.
Hey.
What?
He's not established. He's an established player, man. Sané is an established player.
Auntie, what are you saying? Talk to me.
I mean, it's not like whether Sane is starting
It's
or
not
Saka
like
is starting.
debatable.
It's not like, my opinion is the gap is not this wide. It's extremely
Exactly.
close. It's extremely close, and
He's an
the fact
established
that
player, guys.
the fact that Sane has won the league, won the Champions League, won everything he won, doesn't
Irrelevant.
necessarily make him a better player.
Well, listen,
It is a
in
team
his
sport.
department, let
me finish. Kane has been the best Premier League, the best striker in the Premier League in the last 10 years, and arguably one of the best strikers we've ever seen in this league. He didn't win anything. So the fact that he didn't win anything doesn't make less much of a better striker than Virgil, who came into this league, won the FA Cup, won the Premier League. So that, for me, if Sane come into this team, I don't think he's going to spend. I don't think he's going to spend much of his time on the bench. I think it's going to be more of a rotational thing between them.
I feel something you're missing the context, man.
Fact.
Listen, but I do understand you. But the thing is that if Sané comes to Arsenal, there's no way that he'll be on the bench. But where I agree with Santi was the fact that he will be given an option kind of to Arteta to say, okay, let's rotate to this week, or maybe this kind of game required you to be playing, or maybe the following game required Saka to be playing. So yeah. So
listen, I think you guys have this obsession with players who play for Bayern Munich, Real Madrid, and friggin' all these big clubs.
They are the best teams in the world.
No, bro, you are completely wrong. Just because you play for Bayern Munich, one second, just because you play for Bayern Munich doesn't mean you're superhuman and you're better than every team that doesn't win trophies. I could give you players at Brentford that are better than certain players at Brighton. That's just Bayern.
No. We're talking about Sané.
That's just the reality. Last couple of years, they had Choupo-Moting up top, and they're still winning leagues. You're telling me Choupo-Moting is better than friggin' half the strikers in the world? Get the fuck out of here. Respect to all my panelists, but really and truly, we put Bayern Munich, Barcelona, Real Madrid on this pedestal, and we talk about all their players as if they're the best in the world. When the actual reality is,
when the actual reality is because these are the best teams in the world, and the best teams in the world are the best teams in the world because they have some of the best players in the world.
But Dylan, wait. Iga, you're missing the point. Sané is an established player, whether you like it or not.
Bro,
it's not one day.
Listen,
he won the Premier League. Wait, Iga, hear me out.
Sané comes into the Premier League.
Hear me out. He won the league. He won the Premier League in England, yeah, before he moved out to Germany. Wait. He won it again in Germany. Then he won the Champions League. Our players now struggling to win a league here. They've not done that yet. This guy is an established player. So why are you bringing him to the competition?
Can I tell you something? You take our whole 11, put it into Bayern Munich.
Iga, 1 second. Can I say something?
True.
Can I say something? I'm
You
convinced
think
a
we have
lot
a
of
better team than
people.
Bayern Munich?
No, I said if you put our team.
Iga, 1 second. I'm convinced a lot of people haven't even been watching this guy since he left City. He had a significant injury that's really affected his career so far. 2020-2021 season, he had 6 goals, 9 assists in the league. 21-22, 7 goals, 7 assists. 22-23, 8 goals, 7 assists. And this season so far, 8 goals, 10 assists. If an Arsenal winger has been putting out these numbers over the last 4 years, they won't be having this PR today. The only PR is coming with the fact that this player is playing for Bayern Munich.
Okay, wait. With Saka, how many goals has he scored this season? With Saka, how many goals has
Once
he scored
again,
this season?
once again,
He's
just so
had
you
8
guys
goals
see,
and 10 assists so
just so
far
you
this
guys
season.
see, is my man capping or is he telling the truth?
Is what?
Are we overrating this guy?
Hold on.
No,
One
it's
goal
just like it's
contribution
just a
less
fact.
than he's played games. That's not bad at all. What? That's good. That's really good.
It's not
For
a
a winger
No,
striker.
as
look
well.
at the previous seasons.
It's not a striker, man, is he? Because you
He's
got
a
other
winger.
players scoring. Listen, the way they set up their team, or Tuchel setting up Bayern Munich, is not the same way Arteta set up Arsenal. So possibly he will come to Arsenal.
How does Bayern
and he
Munich
can
set
score
up their
more
team?
goals. What about
I have
that?
a
Sure,
question.
Champions League
How
stats as well.
does
Miguel,
Bayern
scroll. I
Munich
want to see
set up their
Champions League
team?
stats.
How do they set up their team?
What, Santi,
they played
each
10
team,
games.
wait, Santi, you asked a question. That's
So
good. It's always good to learn.
can I put this in perspective? Saka in the last 2 seasons has had better seasons than any season my man has had in the Bundesliga.
Trophies? Has he won the trophies?
He obviously hasn't won the fucking trophies because we don't.
Okay, Belgium. Let me ask you this way, all right? Are you going to play Jorginho or Partey?
Oh yeah, why not? Because I said it.
No. Who are you playing? Are you playing
game.
Are you playing Jorginho or Partey?
No, what do you mean? But if Partey is fit,
Out of the two, who you playing? Jorginho or Partey? No context. Jorginho or Partey? Who you playing? Just
no. Well, listen. Partey is the man. Listen, if Partey is there,
Okay, so you're playing Partey. Partey has one less than Jorginho has in his career. So the trophy argument is irrelevant to who's better.
Wait. When it comes to you cannot rule that one out. But let me tell you something.
It sounds like you're moving your goalpost here. Because when I asked you, because you said Jorginho, you said because he's won more, he's established more. Jorginho is more established by that criteria than Partey.
He's an established player.
Yeah, but Jorginho is more established.
That doesn't make him better.
Yeah. So Jorginho is more established because he's won more. He's done it at a higher level.
It's not just winning more. Listen, the thing is that
now you're changing it. Now you're changing it.
I'm not changing it. I still stick with that. I'm saying it because anytime we talk, I always say people put it into a context, right? The thing is that you bring it. Listen, Partey is an Arsenal player, right? Where is an Arsenal player? Is among the top 11? Is our first 11 among our first 11?
No. That's not what I'm asking. You made the argument on Sane based on the fact he's more established.
It's always wait. Let me talk. Partey is among our first 11, right? If he's not there, he definitely Jorginho, because of his attribute, he should be able to be introduced.
No, my point. When it comes to your argument for Leroy Sane is he's more established and more trophies. I'm not asking about anything else.
No, we're talking about. Listen, there's so many aspects, of Sane's game. We're talking about the game, and outside that, what is won.
Okay. So what is better then? Let's because
what
your
is better?
premise was he's more established and he's won more trophies.
I can tell you, is that it's good attacking movement, fantastic. He read the game better than anyone.
The statistics of the last two seasons.
Wait, you're asking me a question, but we need to learn. Yeah, his attacking movement fantastic. He can read the game. When it comes to final third, it's decision making.
Okay, you know what? I'm gonna do a poll.
It's also good.
What's the question?
What's again your question you want to ask?
Is Leroy Sane better than all of Arsenal's wingers? Is that the question?
No, that's not even what I want to know. Because my thing is, they made the premise that he's more established, he's won more trophies. So I just wanted to know, based on that premise, are we starting Jorginho over Partey?
No, not just that. Not just that. No, but you're missing the point. Not just that. Those are an addition to what he's done.
Now that we've clarified it, you've added the attacking
and that's what I said.
He's smarter in the final third.
That's what I said. Yes,
I want to rebuttal the point that you made, because now you said attacking third, smarter in the. As we've seen the stats, Saka's had a better output in the last sort of few seasons than Sane has had in majority of the seasons he played at Bayern Munich. By the way, Bayern Munich have a higher output in terms of Bundesliga goals, in terms of leagues across the top 5 than majority of them do. We have lesser outputs as a whole, as a league, than the Bundesliga. They're more attacking, they're more open. So when you look at it from that criteria as well, that doesn't make any sense, because even when you say he's better at something, statistically it shows Saka and Martinelli have both had better outputs in the final third than Sane has.
Do you know what? It's always good to use the stats and all this extrapolation and use those trends and try to compare. Listen, holistically, this guy, I've given you certain aspects in his game. And aside his game, what he's done so far, remember, even when he was leaving Man City, they were begging him to stay. Man City, Pep wasn't willing
Actually,
to
they
let him
didn't
go.
beg him. They said you can leave if you
They
want to
were
leave.
begging him
They
to
don't. They
stay.
did not beg.
They were begging him to stay.
Pep's the number one criteria is if you want to
Pep
leave,
didn't
you leave.
want him to leave,
Pep says, "You want to cut, you can cut, man. We'll replace
Yeah,
you."
yeah, he doesn't beg you to stay. That's a lie.
but he did not
Aye.
want him to leave. Yeah. And well, Mahrez, what do you mean he doesn't
Yo,
beg anyone?
1
Mahrez,
second.
what happened
Stadium
to
Book,
Mahrez?
send me a message on Twitter if you want to jump on the panel. I'll get you on next time, hopefully. By the way, guys, we need to talk about the game. So we're going to kind of just skip forward to the last topic. It's been a great discussion. I like it. It's been nice and flow. We didn't need to take too many interruptions, but clearly people have a problem with putting Arsenal players in the conversation of any other team that wins major trophies. That is the issue that comes arise. And you know what? I'm a big problem, because I did a combined 11 and people are going to throw that in my face every freaking day. But the reality of the situation is, just because a player wins every trophy under the sun doesn't mean they're better than the other player. The reality is your quality and your skill is based on who you are as an individual and how you perform as an individual, not how
You say that, yeah. But Miguel, is Odegaard better than Modric?
Bro, I'm not talking about that. I'm asking you, is Odegaard better?
No,
Is Odegaard
Modric's
better?
ability is better though. Modric's ability is better. Forget about trophies. Trophies
That's
is
not
the
the
argument.
comparison, bro. He's comparing a former Ballon d'Or winner to Odegaard. That's the silly comparison. The better comparison.
You said
the
he was
better,
better.
the better comparison would be to sit here and ask me, is Rico Lewis on the same level as friggin' like Ben White? It's not the same conversation. You get what I'm saying? You take two players in a similar position and you say to yourself, are you going to sit here and tell me that whoever Man City, every single player on Man City is better than every single player on Arsenal because they won a treble? It doesn't make sense. Anyways,
it's not the case, but there's also a reason that they win a treble, because
I think the trophy argument. I think the trophy argument is for two players who are very close in talent, and this is why you separate them. When the players are close in talent, you can say trophies, but when you're saying the players are nowhere near each other, but one guy has multiple trophies, it's not the same conversation. But let's keep it moving. We got the Nottingham Forest game. What were we saying? You guys, who you guys playing in that game? What's your team looking like? Are you guys making any major changes? Just so you guys know, our last game, the team that we had out there versus Crystal Palace at home, we had Raya, Zinchenko, Gabriel, Saliba, Ben White. We had Havertz, Odegaard, and Declan Rice midfield. And up top, we had Saka, Jesus, and Trossard. Do you guys go with the same team, or since Martinelli bagged those goals, you start him again? Or do you change Havertz and bring in Jorginho? What are we saying? Is there any injuries also? I'm not aware of any major injuries.
Apparently, Thomas Partey, regardless of being in training, is still unfit. Apparently.
Yeah, he hasn't travelled. Declan Rice was a last-minute call. He has travelled with the team, but he's still 50-50 of whether he starts a game like this. But the only change I'm making is Havertz comes out, ESR goes in.
This is the predicted team for what do you call it? Who scored? That is the predicted team. What do you guys think?
Let's see.
Yeah, I just want ESR in. That's it. That's the only change I make.
I think I agree with that. ESR in, and I'm not keeping Martinelli in.
If not,
I want Trossard. 1 second, Bergeron. I want Trossard to stay to start the game, because bringing Martinelli back into the team immediately, doesn't send the right message for me. If you want to fight back for your place, you have to do it.
There's nothing called message, man. You guys stop this, man. There's nothing called message. Listen, players comes in, they do well. Players
Belgium, you won't allow me to land my point. You won't allow me to land my point.
Belgium. Please, Wallah, you cut him off a couple times. It's starting to get irritating for him. Just let him finish, and then you can go. Go ahead. What are you saying, Santi?
All I'm saying is, look, this guy has been struggling for consistency this season. I know he came off the bench last game, scored a brace, but I'm saying if he gets thrown back into the team immediately, I mean, it doesn't, do it for me. All I'm saying is, if you really want your place back in the team regularly, then you have to, show what you showed in the last game consistently off the bench. That's all I'm saying.
Can I talk now? You got
I just want to say I don't disagree, but go ahead.
I don't subscribe to this view that Arsenal fans sometimes they feel like, oh, they've got their own favorite players. All of a sudden, players, I've said it this season, most teams now have sourced out tactically how to stop Martinelli and Saka. It's up to the coach to kind of tweak it, right? And find a new formula for these two players to do well, right? And there's a problem with the transition. Saka or Martinelli, are they not bound to be having a quiet moment sometimes, right? And does it mean because he scored 2 goals? Okay, he scored a brace last week. Fair enough. If the coach feels that, you know what, this game required of Martinelli to start. It doesn't mean because he scored 2 goals, therefore he will be introduced, and all of a sudden, or because he hasn't been consistent, according to you, Santi, therefore he should not be starting. No, that's not how football teams operate, man. These guys are human beings. They're bound to be having those quiet moments. We got to be supporting them. You know, hey, I'll go, obviously, what's the name? Trossard scored a goal last week. What's the name last week when we played Palace? So I'll still go with the same format. Possibly, Kai Havertz will not be introduced. Rather, if it depends, because Nottingham, it can be a tricky ground. We've not been having a joy over there. So I might literally see whether would he go with a double pivot if Declan Rice is fit. He might go with Jorginho to support him.
It'll be what you saw on that predicted lineup. It won't be Jorginho starting, but I just want to say, yeah, we've seen obviously the announcement last week that Thomas Partey's fit now. Yeah, Partey apparently is not going to start tomorrow against Forest. For what? If Thomas Partey doesn't play against Liverpool at home in our biggest game of the season on Sunday, questions need to be asked, because that's huge and he's fit.
Now you want to ask questions.
Can I jump in quickly?
You've been asking questions about Thomas Partey all year because the guy's always...
Wait. No. Dylan, you cannot say that, because the thing is that he just came back from an injury. You cannot introduce him all of a sudden to start playing. It's got to be introduced. There's a process. It's got to be introduced step by step. You can't just introduce him to the game and say, come and play full 90 minutes. It's been out for
You're not looking at the bigger picture, which is what I'm trying to say.
No. Because the Liverpool game, I believe that if he's fit, he'll be playing. Or if he's not even fit, he'll be on the bench.
But my question is it a case of fitness? Because if he's going to announce last week that he's fit and he's still not in the lineup, what the hell's going on?
Listen, regardless, you don't want to rush back a player of Thomas Partey's injury history. That's the honest truth. If we rush him back, he's gonna be out for even longer. But I want to get everyone's take on this. Just give me an answer, guys. Because Santi said he would rather stick with Trossard. Am I right, Santi, for this upcoming game versus Nottingham Forest?
Yes.
So would you guys all start Trossard again, or would you give Martinelli the start?
Oh yeah, Trossard for me. Trossard should be starting because
I don't really mind.
No.
I don't really mind, only because we've been crying out to have a squad where we can rotate the players every game, and you don't really see a massive difference. That's kind of a thing with Trossard and Martinelli. I don't really see a huge difference. Whoever you bring on is going to make an impact. Whoever you start is going to do a good job. So it doesn't really matter. It's good. It's healthy competition. It doesn't really matter because they will rotate. So
there you go. Souls, same thing.
I think when you give the circumstances that Nottingham Forest are missing about 3 to 4 of their key players to AFCON and the Asia Cup, they're probably going to want to sit back and actually reserve a draw. Given that, I want to play Trossard to begin with and bring Martinelli on when the game opens up a bit more.
Okay.
This game's got to be won for
let's quickly go to the next conversation. The midfield 3. Do you think it's going to be Havertz, Rice, and Odegaard, or do you guys think Jorginho starts? Because I think Santi, was it you that said Jorginho is going to start?
No, it's me. It was me.
Okay. Well, why do you want Jorginho to start?
Yeah, because to control, it can't set up the tempo, but to control that tempo of any game, Jorginho is very good at that. And again, to some of these passings, and he can literally help Declan Rice in terms of going a little bit forward and allow Odegaard to stay up a little bit instead of him dropping to kind of coming all the way to come and support Declan Rice. So I think and then again to that fluidity, at least no matter how, as we can say it, instead of having Kai Havertz, which he literally would like to stay at the top there
Yeah, I guess.
and just be doing the basic stuff. Yeah.
There you go. Yo, guys, talk to me. Let me know. Is there anything you guys are looking forward to from this game versus Nottingham Forest, or is it kind of like it's been so long? I just want to see Arsenal play, but you guys seem like it's like this. You guys are looking too forward ahead. This is the trap game. Don't forget, the Liverpool game is the weekend. We can't focus on that game.
Sunday,
We
man.
have to focus on this game. This is the game in the middle of one of the biggest games of the season. And if you lose this game, that game is irrelevant at that point. If we lose this game versus Nottingham Forest, the Liverpool game is pretty much done. There's no point of even talking about it. So we need to focus on this game. Stop worrying about the Liverpool game. That's what I would say to you, Dylan. And as
I'm not
a
worried about the
team,
Liverpool game. I'm just talking in terms of this whole thing about Partey that's still going on. I just think if he doesn't play against Liverpool, it's dodgy.
I don't think it's dodgy. I think you need to ease players back in. I agree with Belgium. But yeah, personally for me, I'm looking at the Nottingham Forest game and I'm saying to myself, away from home versus Nottingham Forest, can we keep a clean sheet? What kind of performance are you guys expecting? Is it going to be a shaky game? We do struggle against Nottingham Forest. I think the last couple of times we played them, we've either lost or dropped points. And in the FA Cup, we've been knocked out there. We lost last year. Yeah, it's not been good away at Nottingham Forest the last couple of times we went away to Nottingham Forest. We lost 4-2 back in the day under Arsene Wenger's last season, I think, or was it Emery? One or the other.
Wenger. I think it's Wenger.
Yeah, I think it was Wenger, right?
Yeah, it was Wenger.
Yeah, it was under Wenger,
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, chat to me, guys.
Oh,
What you
no,
guys?
it's you now.
Let me go to Santi because Santi kind of seems like he wants to get a chance to say something on this. What are you saying, bro?
I mean, I'll start Jorginho. It doesn't make sense to throw back Partey back in just straight away coming back from injury. And I've been saying this since the beginning of the season. I don't get why Jorginho has not been playing as much because I believe whatever Partey brings to the team, I mean, Jorginho bring it to a very good standard. So it's a no-brainer for Jorginho to start in the midfield with Declan Rice and Odegaard. I mean, till Partey comes back fully.
Yeah. Big up Taylor for gifting 5 memberships to the people in the chat. I really do appreciate that. Big up to you for that. And yeah, Santi, what's your score prediction, bro?
I'll say 2-0. Yeah.
2-0. We keep a clean sheet away from home. Nice.
Yeah.
All right. What are you saying, Souls? Talk to me. Break down the game. What do you think is going to happen?
Man, I really want to see ESR start. That's just a personal bias of mine. I'd love to see him in the sort of Havertz or the left 8. But in terms of the game, I mean, it's going to be a really difficult game because Nottingham Forest, like I said, are missing a few of their key components in terms of playing this game due to AFCON, the Asia Cup, etc. So it's going to be really interesting to see how they kind of set up at home. Are they going to go a bit more reserved just because they haven't got some of their players? Or are they actually going to come for us like they normally do at home? And we've just got to be resolute. We've got to be solid in both phases of games. We need to make sure we're taking our opportunities. I kind of want to see another Crystal Palace situation where we absolutely bang the team, take it early, score 2 or 3 goals, because we need to go into that Liverpool game with the absolute highest of beliefs that we can do something. And that's only going to come if we can put some goals in, get some of those players on lower confidence, such as, even if it is Havertz who starts, get him a goal, Odegaard gets a goal, Saka gets something out of this game as well, because in the 5-0, he didn't actually get any GA. So that's what I'm hoping for, is that these players who, I'm not saying they're lacking confidence, but need something just to kind of give them a little bit of a boost. And that would be quite crucial for me. But I'm going to go for another 5-0. Fuck it, why not?
There you go. Yo, Santi's going to have to jump off before the end of the stream, but big up to you, Santi. The link to your YouTube channel is in the description. And of course, man, you guys can always catch him on Twitter. You're on the road to 100K now. Big up to you for that.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for having me.
Good
job. I'll catch you on the other side.
Yes, man. Hopefully, when Nigeria loses,
you guys are rivals now. What's going on?
Angola.
Don't mind him. I told him they'll crash out.
Nigeria is going to the final, in case you don't know.
No way, no chance.
All right, yeah.
Bye, Santi. Catch you on the next one.
Santi.
Big up, Santi. Dylan, what are you saying, man, before we wrap up? What do you think the score prediction is going to be? And are you going to Nottingham Forest?
I think so, yeah. I think so. I don't know yet.
Okay.
I don't know. I don't know, but in terms of the result, this team under the lights in Nottingham, man. I can't predict it. I'm gonna go 4-2 Arsenal, but it could easily be 2-1 Forest. But I'm gonna go 4-2 Arsenal.
Okay. Belgium?
Yes, you know what? I've said it to people. Every game now is like a cup game for Arsenal. If we really have to be part of the competition, which I believe, and I believe in the players. And again, I think the last time that Nunes team, he been in Nunes as a coach, beating Arteta, I can't remember because on that both times that he was Tottenham and Wolves, I think Arteta did have a little bit of last laugh. So I think Arteta, the karma will follow Arteta to win that game. So in terms of prediction, I think I'm looking at 2-0 to the Arsenal.
I hope so. I
Fair
do
enough.
genuinely hope so.
I think we concede. I think we always make it shaky. I think it's a situation where we do get our shooting boots back on though, and we score 3 goals to their 1. But you all know something? It's never easy. It's going to be one of those 1-1s. Everyone's going to tune in, and then we're going to score 2 goals late to make it 3-1. And then people are going to be like, "Oh, you smashed it and grabbed at the end." But it is what it is. If you win and you get 3 points, that's all that matters. Forget about Liverpool for now. I'm just focused on Nottingham Forest. I'll catch you guys on the next stream. Love for watching, guys. Dylan actually kept it together because usually he's the one that's the guy that's got everyone going today. And then we got Belgium. Big up to you for joining. Souls and Santi for joining for the first time. And I'm out of here, people. You can tell I'm a little tired. You can tell I'm a little tired. Wish me luck on Hussam's channel. Actually, we didn't play, so I don't need no luck this time. We didn't lose, but I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.